British designer, teacher and painter whose legacy is celebrated in this exhibition here at Townham. She is perhaps best known for her designs of tiles and wallpaper, which she made in the 1950s, 60s and 70s, and which people still find on the walls in houses, particularly in Sussex today. But she started life as a painter, training alongside such famous names as Eric Ravilius, and in the 1930s produced a number of beautiful works, including a portrait of John Piper, which hangs in the National Portrait Gallery. Peggy's life is fascinating, a true 20th century life with its share of struggles and triumphs. And I was particularly drawn to her as a maverick and somebody who went her own way, tried different things and triumphed regularly. As well as researching this exhibition, I have written a book, Peggy Angus, Designer, Teacher, Painter, which celebrates her life and introduces each aspect of her work, from painting through teaching and then the great designs in tile and wallpaper that she made in the latter half of her life. It has been a wonderful journey of discovery researching Peggy. She was a larger-than-life character. Many people still remember her, and there are a fount of stories about her.
Peggy was embarking on designing tiles. This came out of her teaching of students where they started making repeat patterns, mainly from potato prints. And she went on to take these repeat patterns a step further, producing tiles around the time of the Festival of Britain, around 1951. She was using some of the patterns that she devised earlier and carrying them into this. And then from these tiles, she would, in order to show them to architects for commissions, she would reproduce her tile designs onto lining paper, which then got picked up by people who were very interested in this kind of repeat pattern that they could essentially hang on their wall. So from that, she got a commission to actually make the wallpaper, which had originally been based on her tile designs. The first commission came from Kenneth Rowntree, the artist, who asked her to make a wallpaper for his living room. And then more and more people became aware of her wallpaper designs, and this is what she did, and they became more adventurous. She had started off using quite a simple sort of circle design, but gradually over time they became more elaborate. And basically what she would do is take a roll of lining paper that she would paint with household emulsion paint in lots of different colours, and she would then lino cut a design which she repeat printed onto the painted roll, and this became the hand-printed wallpaper. Peggy was adamant that this process couldn't be done by machine, so for as long as she was designing wallpapers, they were always done by hand. And she was very, very much in favour of having paintings hung on them. She encouraged people that they should be displayed with paintings on them, whether they're her paintings or someone else's paintings was beside the point. She just wanted to see them have a life and to be part of people's home.
Okay, I was asked by the collections curator here, Sarah Cooper, to paint a mirror, copying one that Peggy originally painted in her house in Furlongs, which is recreated to the left of the mirror over here in the exhibition. So they complement each other really nicely. And the process was, we got a printout of the image so we could project it onto the wall, and I painted freehand using that as a guide. Luckily, I'm not afraid of heights. Transferring Peggy's work onto the wall made me really appreciate the balance of detail and then also looseness and I suppose the painterly quality of her work and how it transfers so well to such a big scale. It's just really, really impressive to see someone's career laid out like this and appreciate the variety.
Peggy Angus is the first exhibition that we're presenting since Towner became an independent charitable trust on the 1st of July. It's very appropriate that we're doing the show by Peggy Angus. She taught in Eastbourne and rented a cottage not very far from Eastbourne at Furlongs in East Sussex, and was great friends with Eric Revilius, Borden and Nash, and Towner has the largest holdings of works by Revilius in our collection. Unfortunately and very strangely, we only have one work by Peggy in our collection, and I'm hoping that we can build our collection of her works in the very near future. Up to the 1st of July, Towner was part of Eastbourne Borough Council, and conversations started before this new building opened 5 years ago about Towner becoming an independent trust. I joined Towner last March, very much charged with moving us forward with the transfer, and was delighted when last October David Dimbleby, who lives locally and has a very strong connection with Towner, agreed to be the first chairman of the charity.
Peggy Angus is, I suppose, even though she's Scottish, she's a local girl, and she had terrific influence on painting and design, and did some beautiful design work herself. Lived in a little cottage, Furlongs near Lewes, which this is a reproduction of. But she was a powerful force and a great teacher, and we thought that this exhibition would bring her alive again. For the last 5 years, ever since the Towner Art Gallery was built on this new site next to the Congress Theatre, it's been run by Eastbourne Borough Council. They've been in charge of it. And like a lot of other councils, they've decided that that's not their real expertise. So generously, they've set it up as a charity and handed it over to us. I'm the chairman of the trustees of the charity. The council give us over $600,000 a year, the amount they were spending before. We've got Arts Council money, and we're now independent. And it will give us, I think, a chance to raise other money, to raise funds, to sort of go our own way. The idea being to make sure that the gallery reaches out to people in East Sussex, builds on its reputation. So we've got a very good board of trustees, very exciting board of trustees, and our plan is simply to grow the place, make it thrive in the way it has been, and just build on the past for the future. Put it as a perfect cliche for